All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Elevating the Mind. And today I am so excited because this is going to be our HBCU Connect segment. So I'm going to do a couple videos on, with different students who attended HBCUs, even some students who are still going to HBCUs. And we just going to talk it up, okay? Like, if you know HBCU culture, you know we love each other. And so I'm excited for this segment. Today, I have two special guests, Miss Taj and Miss Amani. They are going to introduce themselves. We're going to bring them on the screen. And Taj is going to introduce herself first, and then Amani can introduce herself. Go ahead, y'all.
Hello, I'm Taj Williams. I'm from Port Arthur, Texas. I went to Prairie View A&M University. I'm 25 years old, and I got a psychology degree, and I do hair.
Yes. Go ahead, Amani.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amani. I'm 25 years old. I went to Delaware State University, go Hornets, for my undergrad. And then I went to Howard University, HU, at Washington, D.C. I'm currently working at my first job in the field as an occupational therapist.
Woo woo. Hey, ladies. I'm super excited. These are two amazing women. And so I know we're going to have fun with this chat. What school I went to, of course. I went to Prairie View A&M University as well. PV, Yep. So we're gonna have fun. We have a couple questions I'm gonna ask. We gonna vibe. We're gonna see what works. So first question is, why did you ladies choose your HBCU? What made you say, yep, that's the school for me? You could be honest, and if you like, I really didn't choose it, just chose me. So, be honest. Because Taj got that look in her eyes, like, honestly.
Yeah.
It wasn't my first choice, but I took it. Cool.
Actually, it wasn't my first choice. I wanted to go to Southern, but everybody around me was like,
"You wanted to go to Southern?"
Yes, I did. Why? But to dance, I had all the wrong reasons to go to Southern, just to dance.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Okay.
But yeah, that's crazy. But like people around me, a lot of people from Port Arthur went to PV, and they would always be like, you should go to PV, it's so lit. Besides it being lit, they'd be like, I got a good nursing program. I originally went to school for nursing. You got a good nursing program and this and that and this and that. And I was like, you know what? Y'all right. And then when I visited, I was like, oh yeah. This is for definitely.
What about you, Money?
Well, I did actually want to go to a HBCU. Always knew since I was a kid. And my mom, she went to Delaware State University, so that was definitely on my list. However, I chose to stay in state, save some money. Yeah. And then they were giving me some scholarships too. So I was like, let me just stay in state because I knew I wanted to get my master's. So I was like, let me just go to school for free. So that's why I stayed in state for Delaware State. But then Howard, I really didn't want to go to HBCU for grad school. I was like, let me try a little PWI, kind of look good on my resume. But honestly, Howard gave me the most love. I mean, out of all the schools I applied to, I probably got into 2 schools, and Howard was one. And of course, I was like, let me pick Howard, and I don't regret it at all. I mean, the experience was great. If people are worried, grad school, will that HBCU experience be the same? And I can definitely say it is. So that is why I picked HBCU to go to.
Let me tell you, Prairie View was my first choice. Off the rip, my mom was like, apply for other schools. Don't do that. I was like, no, I just want to get into Prairie View. If I get into Prairie View, I'm good. But because my parents, I'm from California. And so because my parents wanted me to apply to schools in California, I did. But California sent out the schools in California sent out their acceptance letters before Prairie View. Prairie View sent out their acceptance letter. I think we started school in August. I think I got my acceptance letters like 2 or 3 weeks before school started, and my mom was like, "If you
Same.
can get a scholarship," exactly. My mom was like, "If you could get a scholarship, you could go." I worked my behind off those like couple weeks trying to find scholarships, and I got some. And I was like, Prairie is my first choice. I'm not going to school in California. I have to go. Because Prairie View was my first choice because I went to the Black College Expo. Like living in California, we don't have the luxury of like really having Black colleges next to us. The closest one is Prairie View and TSU. Those are the closest Black colleges to California. So the Black College Expo was like, oh, this is my people. They live, you know, they had the livest bands there. Prairie View's band came one year, and so I was like, this is my school. This is where I have to go. Like me and my best friend, and we both went to the school. And I ended up graduating from Prairie View. She graduated from Langston University, but we love, like, I just love Prairie View. So I was super excited when I got that acceptance letter, and then even more excited when I got those scholarships because I was like, Mama, let's go. Like, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. So yeah, I don't know. I just didn't have that luxury of having HBCU close to me. So I think that's why I was super psyched about it too. Okay. Now, if you know HBCU culture, you know, like we have certain events, and it's almost like going to church on Sunday. Like you have to go to these events as a student, okay?
Facts.
So
No, for real.
I call it yeah, it's certain things that you have to go to. If not, people hit your line like, hey, why you not here? You tripping, like what's up? So I call those HBCU holidays. All right. Now just thinking about whatever that event may be for your HBCU, what was your favorite HBCU holiday?
I'm gonna sound crazy, but Fridays, fried chicken Fridays in MS.
Yes, that
Ours was Wednesdays. Yes, that was a great day.
y'all have fried chicken Wednesdays.
Yes.
What the heck?
We had fish and chicken.
Friday. Yes, fish and
The
chicken.
fish used to be bomb. I used to be like, wow. Can't forget about Hump Day though. Hump Day.
Hump Day. Okay, so did y'all have like a party like in the middle of the day at your HBCU, Amani, on Wednesdays?
No, it wasn't like consistent. Now we did have parties in there, close to around events, or this may be like an organization want to throw something, but it wasn't like a consistent like every Wednesday. We used to have Taste Lounge. That was on Thursday. So like, you know, when they say like Thirsty Thursday, so pretty much, you know, you go after class and you just hang out in the student center, and it becomes a party. You know, the campus DJ come out, everything, whole nine. But what happened was my freshman year, because they had these before, and, you know, I was being a little groany, and I went to a few in high school because I was right there. But freshman year, I would never forget. So they were about to have the first one, and I had a bio test. So I'm like, all right, if I go and then come back and study, like I'm good. So long story short, I go, but they weren't supposed to throw it. Like, they never got campus approval. So then everything got shut down, and then Taste Lounge was just a done deal after that.
Hey.
Yeah, we used to have it, but things got out of hand. So
y'all was out there wilding. No,
yeah, we were.
Let me tell you, HBCU period. Anytime it's like a party, it's gonna be wild. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it's gonna be a good time, but it is going to be wild. I don't know why no one was there when you were in high school, but it's cool. Taj. Okay, so you said your favorite holiday was Hump Day as
Hump
well.
Day.
What was your best Hump Day?
Probably the one when I walked into Waka Flocka Arms. I was like, what? I was freaking out. Like, I walked into
the camera.
Yes, he was performing. And so he got off the stage, and like This one hump day was by Hillard Hall.
Yes.
Remember when hump day was right there? Okay.
Yes.
So he got off stage and he started performing over. He was trying to get back to his car. You know, I'm always just in the mix doing what I be doing. So I was standing there and like I was walking backwards. I remember I was walking backwards and I turned around and he was right there and he's so tall. I just looked up. I'm like, what? And he just was like, come here. He just hugged me. I was like,
what the heck?
I called my mama. Mama, why could Flocka just hug me? She was like, girl, bye. And I was just like,
random.
That was like freshman year, and I want to say homecoming hump day.
Okay, I wasn't there yet. I'm like, when did I miss walking?
Yeah, that was in like definitely freshman year. Yeah, definitely. Because I remember I just got out of English class and I ran to hump day. I was like, I gotta go. Like I gotta go.
It was that real. I think my very first actual hump day, because I didn't really start going to hump days until homecoming my freshman year. That's when I really started going to hump days after that. So I remember we were still by Hilliard Hall my freshman year homecoming hump day. And my best friend was like, because she had been at Prairie View for a year, and she was like, all right, let me just tell you, it could get really, really wild, okay? Definitely. So, you know, our meetup point is such a place. I'm gonna meet you right here, yada, 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 just in case I lose you. I'm thinking to myself, girl, chill out. Like, people still got class, you know, because I had a class, but I was ditching my class because,
Me too, girl. Me too.
But they say down south, though, y'all HBCU is different. Like, I feel like y'all is a little wilder, to be honest. Yeah.
Like, y'all were more calm.
No, we still get lit and stuff. Like, we're still wild, but I think it's just different. Like, you know, because different regions. Like, y'all got y'all music, we have our music. But
that's so true. Definitely. So let me tell you, when I say I was shocked at homecoming hump day, because first of all, I'm from California, you know, and I think when my freshman year was like right after the jerking phase, you know, like everybody in California was jerking, color skinny jeans and all of that. I come out to this hump day and what's my song? It was they playing Migos. Like, what is this? What are y'all two-stepping out here? At a party, y'all two-stepping. I was just like, I'm so dead because I'm so used to jerking and we did the backwards jerking, all that other stuff. I'm like, I don't even know how to dance here. Like, what do I do? And then it was hot and I'm like, y'all out here sweating bullets. Getting it like two-stepping, cupping your hand, like getting your groove on. And I was like, dang, this is a different experience. So I was like, I will never miss another hump day ever again. I can't have a class at 12 o'clock, 12 to 1 at all.
I'm telling you, every schedule after freshman year, I'm at hump day.
Real life. I remember second semester freshman year, I had to have another class because it was like a history course or whatever. But that professor, she graduated from Prairie View, and she was like, every time she would be like, "Oh yeah, it's Wednesday. I'm letting y'all out early." Like 12 minutes in class tops. Like she'd be like, "Yeah, because I'm about to go to hump day myself," and everybody would be like, "Bruh, we don't want to see you out here." And she's like, if you see me, act like you don't know me.
No, for real.
I do believe, like, okay, so let's talk about it, Armani. How was your HBCU? Like, you said it's a difference from like the South and other regions.
I think it is. I mean, I personally have not been to an event down south, like at an HBCU, but just talking to like my cousins and just people I know, y'all, I mean, we be partying, but y'all, I feel like y'all be sweating like all the time. Where I'm like, look, I'm not gonna be sweating at every event. Like, you know, homecoming, okay, our taste lounges, okay, but y'all be sweating. It just be like a little group of y'all on the yard.
Yeah,
Y'all just be
5.
sweating. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna be sitting on the yard, like on my plot. I'm gonna be just sitting there. I'm not about to be sweating. I feel like y'all always just be, it's always a party. It's always a vibe. But I do think, even with the HBCUs, there's differences, but we still have a lot of similarities. But my favorite event is, of course, homecoming. I just love that time of the year. It's not too hot. I mean, I love springtime too, but fall, I like the weather in the fall too. Everybody come back. So people, like once you become upperclassmen, people you knew, that was older, they come back. And it's just like a reunion. It's a vibe, free food. I mean, our football team was bad. So I never went to the football team. It was literally like, wake up, get your outfit on, and let's start pre-gaming. Let's go. And then when I became Greek, oh gosh, I was like, yeah, this is too much for now. That it was getting crazy. I was like, yeah, this is too much. I was like,
yes, okay, Amani is Greek, so that's a different experience during homecoming.
Yes.
Okay, so talk about the difference from homecoming before you were Greek and homecoming now that you are Greek. What's the
Okay, so homecoming before Greek, you're with your girls, the girls that you meet either in your dorm, I don't know, classroom, whatever activities that you're in. So you're pretty much just with your group. And then, they might know somebody. So then you kind of migrate to other groups, but you're just with your group pretty much. And then you go to like an after party or something like that. And then y'all all, you kind of go back to your dorm eventually, like you're going to go back. Because, I wasn't one of those girls that was, no, we all went back to our room. No, you're not going to touch me. But being Greek is different because, you're not only representing yourself, but you're representing the fraternity or the sorority that you're in. You're representing your line. You're representing, the old heads. So it's like a lot more. So it's like, you're lit, but then you also need to be conscious too, because you're not just representing yourself. They obviously picked you for a reason. So you can be wild, but make sure you can control yourself too. Don't embarrass everybody. But then it's like, I feel like with Greek, it just kept going and going and going. So like it never ended.
You never went back to the dorm.
I never went back to the dorm, and it wasn't because I was being fresh. It was because I was being Greeky. So
I like that. She is funny. I was being Greeky, not fresh. All right. Yeah. Okay, Tosh, talk about homecoming. Because I think that's across the board. Every HBCU student, that's our favorite holiday period. It has to be homecoming. Like
homecoming. It's no homecoming like Prairie View homecoming. I really have no for Prairie View's homecoming because it's just like awesome. Like I went to homecoming. Okay, so homecoming before graduating was just like, okay, this is homecoming. But after graduating, homecoming is crazy. Like it's just like you partying with your teachers and stuff after you graduate. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, oh, it's just crazy. It's so fun. So fun. I'm just so mad we don't have homecoming this year. I'm gonna get over it. But yeah, I love homecoming. And I'll be looking forward to it. It's like a holiday for me for real. Like it's in my calendar. It's like in my calendar. I don't book nothing for that week. Like I'm going to homecoming. That's it.
Yeah. In Howard, they have what's called Yard Fest. So it's like 12 o'clock. Pretty much, like, you don't go to class that day. And I mean, when I tell you, even in grad school, the teachers were canceling class. Like our chair was like, "Oh, come in here, take this test real quick. Hurry up, don't take long, because we gotta go party." I'm like, for real? I'm like, oh, I was ready that day. I was like, I hear that test so fast, but it's literally like just a party. Everybody comes together, and they have performances. And man, a Howard homecoming is way different than a DSU homecoming. DSU homecoming is great, don't get me wrong, but Howard, I mean, you got celebrities coming there, all the alumni. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy how much love, you know, they give to Howard. And I mean, it was insane. I remember my classmates and I, our second year in grad school, we had like an actual like clinical. So we packed our bags up. We all had it all in somebody's car. And man, we was like, we don't even care how we doing this clinical. Like, we going to bar fest after. It don't matter, right? But it's a vibe. I mean, I've met so many celebrities like Terrence J, Lala. I mean, I can just go down the list. And they're so, you know, personable. They'll talk to you and everything. So yeah, homecoming is definitely my favorite holiday. I'm so sad that we're not having it, but I know DSU rescheduled in the spring, so you guys may want to check that out and see.
Okay. Yeah. We may have to go down there and see. See what it's about. Look, because we know Prairie View for sure isn't doing a homecoming. Is Howard doing a homecoming?
I don't know. I haven't heard much. I know somebody tried to play around and say it's in November, but they're not having a homecoming. So they might be rescheduled next year, but I think everything's in the open. But I know DSU already rescheduled it, and they're making it like a homecoming / field day. That's another event we used to have. Every spring was like a field day, you know. And of course, you got the games at first, but it pretty much becomes a party after that. Right. And so this time it's going to be together. So that's going to be crazy.
Dang. Okay. Yeah. We may have to look into that. We got to get the experience from somewhere. I will. That's okay. That's what's up. Yeah. I think that's just the common thing with HBCUs. Like, period. Homecoming. That's it. That's the place to be. You have to go. So I can concur with what they both said. And I know for a fact, both those HBCUs, Howard and Prairie View, they have a live homecomings. Like, I really want to go to a homecoming, hopefully after all of this is over, at Howard as well, because yes, y'all go viral every time.
Yes, every time.
My first year, I was like, yo, I'm tired, but the party just kept going and going.
Oh my goodness. Every time.
Crazy, yeah.
Crazy. Okay, let's talk about, I'm about to make up this question because we've been talking about it, and I don't think people understand. Let's talk about food at your HBCU.
Oh.
Let's talk about it. Look, y'all don't give me these looks. Freshman year.
I never wanted to sit in the cafeteria until I went to Prairie View. Like,
let's talk about what they call it. The freshman, they call it the freshman 25 or whatever the weight you gonna put on your freshman year.
Freshman 15.
Freshman 15. Yeah. So let's talk about food. Whoever want to take this one first, y'all take it.
Man, my freshman year, I definitely didn't eat the best. The food in general, like, I was not satisfied with the cafeteria food. I was just like, this ain't it. I always would go in there to the sandwich line and make the same sandwich and then get some French fries. I was tearing French fries up freshman year, and I was a student athlete too. So imagine like going to workouts and then being like, I'm gonna eat some French fries after that anyway because there ain't nothing in there I want to eat. And you talking about stomach used to be on fire. I used to drink orange soda. Like, I was wild. I'm like, I would eat it before workouts. Like, I didn't care, but I was like, you know what? I gotta change. So then sophomore year, that's when, you know, I was able to cook a little bit more, you know, because I was in like an apartment style, you know, little, you know, room or whatever. So that's when I was able to eat a little better. But that cat food is trash overall, except I would just tear up some French fries, get a sandwich, or eat pizza.
Yeah.
But then the fried chicken was okay. But then they was changing it at one time. We had to tell them, like, no. Whoever's back there cooking it differently need to cook it the way it used to be. But I mean, the food was okay. Of course, I
Crazy
use
shit.
my like flex dollars and try to go get like Chick-fil-A. But then they
Yep.
always running out of stuff. HBC, they always running out of stuff. It makes me so mad. I don't understand
No,
how.
for
Or
real.
it takes forever to get your food. Like I go into the little Starbucks. It shouldn't take 15 minutes for my little frap.
Y'all had a
No.
Starbucks?
Well,
We
it was
had
within our little marketplace. Yeah, it was like a little Starbucks little stand. But they were so slow.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
wasn't
feel
worth
offended
it.
anymore.
It wasn't worth it at all. Like, man, when each semester you get like $100 in flex, you talking about hype, like, oh, I got money. I ain't go so white. But then halfway through the semester, you use all your flex dollars up. And so then you eating in the cab. You eating that nasty.
Gotta get that sandwich while you playing.
But yeah, that's my experience with the food. It's not the best, but I mean, honestly, I guess you just get used to it after a while. Cause what you gonna starve, or unless you eat oodles and noodles every night in your room, which I was
Right.
doing that too at once. But yeah,
You learn what works for you, real life.
exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about you, Tosh? Tosh lit.
Okay, so I always ate fries. Every meal I had to have fries as well. So we had like different lines, we had like hamburgers, they had like cereal
Yeah.
bar, they had like an international line,
Oh,
and
y'all
then
fancy.
on Fridays.
Don't let
Undefeated.
it hype you up. Yeah. Only on Fridays.
On Fridays it was undefeated. That fish, I was running to the MSC. But also we used to have like nights where they would do like steak and shrimp or something like that. And then
Yeah.
it would be like they'll call it Club MSC. Best
Yeah.
night.
Best nights.
Definitely. And then they had late night breakfast. Best
Yes,
night.
I remember that. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did have we had spin-off days where it's like, okay.
I had a love-hate relationship. Love hate. But I was always in there because I wasn't buying no food.
Facts.
And my mama wasn't giving me no money. So
You learn how to eat. You learn how to survive. You start making up stuff. I'm gonna add a little bit of this to this today, and we gonna eat it. Like
for real.
I remember it was my freshman year. My group of friends. It was a couple of us who were like, yeah, we going to the MSC no matter what. It was a few of us who were like, nah, I'm not going to the MSC. But by the middle of that year, everybody was at that MSC. Why? Because you have to eat. We're not spending money on food. Like you gonna eat what's here, basically. So we just made it work. We made it work.
Yep.
We added a little ranch here, a little ketchup there, whatever it was. And on those special days, Friday, we get in line early and we saving spots for people like
Oh, definitely.
hey,
Yeah,
I was able to get our class early. I was in front of the line because
for real, I'm going to get us a table. Y'all meet me there. I'm not playing.
Where you at? Where you at?
I'm putting my backpack, a book, and a jacket, and everything else on each chair. Cause look, this with me and my homegirls. Y'all not finna take outside. No,
right,
For real.
get some fried chicken and or catfish. It's real.
Definitely.
It's real. Got
And
it.
then they had macaroni with it.
Yes.
They had the hot sauce sitting on the table for you. They knew.
Yep. They knew.
They
Look, let me
knew.
tell you. I was laughing when Amani said somebody different came and cooked the chicken, and they had to let them know. Because I remember it was one time that they try to do something different on Fridays. I don't know if they ran out of catfish or what, but let me tell you how mad those students were, and they were yelling at the people in the back, like, "Where the fish at? Y'all, how y'all run out of fish?" And the people who was cooking, we had Sodexo. We called them Sodexo cookers. The Sodexo team was like, "Look, we don't know what's going on. They just ran out of fish. Yada yada." They really explained it to us, and I'm like, only at this HBCU would the crew be going back and forth with the students about the food.
Definitely.
I'm like, you can't switch up. It's Friday. We get the chicken and the fish on Fridays. Period.
Sodexo stayed beefing with us though. Sodexo always wanted to beef with us. I used to be like, "Oh my god, I'm just trying to eat, bro. I'm just trying to eat." They stayed beefing with us.
That is funny. Okay. So let's talk about the atmosphere of the HBCU. It's almost like a family environment. So let's talk about what type of environment did you have? Okay, well, the question is up here, Kayla. Talk about the family you developed while going to your HBCU, like your support team or your mentors, whoever that might have been. Let's talk about that. Whoever wants to go first.
I'll go first.
Okay.
My support team was strong, I believe, for both HBCUs I went to. And I'm saying strong as in, of course, my family, my predominant family, my mom, my dad, all those people, my grandparents, they were strong support. But then I also made like a really strong family at the HBCUs. I mean, and I had a variety of people. So I didn't just hang out with just one group of, friends or whatever.
Yeah.
So like I was on a sports team, I was on a bowling team. So I had my bowling family. And I had like two girls that I was really, really close to overall. And but then I also had like my girls, who was either my roommates or, I met them through another friend and all that. So like those were my girls. We would go to events together. We hung out. They're like my day one girls every day. And then, I also had like people that I was close to in my major. My major wasn't super big, but a few of us were really tight knit. So, we would study together, but then we would also party together. We'll go out to eat. We'll do different things. So I feel like I had different groups. And then when I crossed, I had that group too of sisters that, I could go to no matter what. They get on my nerves, but I know they have my back. And so I feel like at any HBCU, I think it's important to have that family knit environment. I mean, everybody's a family, but you really want to have those few people that you can go to for anything, that you can call up 3 a.m, like, look, I'm hungry, or look, I'm in this situation. Can you help me? Because I mean, it's going to happen. It's going to happen one way or another. So, and I think it's good to have a diversity of. Excuse me, my phone or my watch hit the table. But it's good to have a diversity too, because even in grad school, it was a few of us. We were like this, like in the class. I mean, I had your back, like even up there. If you're presenting, like if you need help, I'm going to call out something like I'm gonna word it, and I need you to read my lips. Like, I'm gonna help you out. I got your back. So I think it's important to have that family knit environment at HBCU, and I think you'll get that at an HBCU because everybody is there for the same reasons. Majority of the people are African American, Black. Of course, you're gonna have your other races, but majority is gonna be African American, and it's gonna be African Americans who are motivated. They're there for the same reasons you are, whether, it takes them an extra year to finish or they have to stop, they may not come back, but they're going there for that reason. They're going there, most of them, because they want to graduate. They want to be a college graduate of HBCU. And so I just love that. And I think that's what brings us together already. So no matter if you have beef with somebody, I feel like it kind of gets squashed eventually, because it's like we all come from this HBCU. If I'm out there in that world and you went to it, I don't care if you went to PV. I mean, I'm gonna have your back because you went to an HBCU, period, before a PWI. So that's that's why I think family is important. Mm-hmm.
True. Taj, what about you?
I got some ride or dies. I can't lie. I met some ride or dies at school. I cannot lie. So my best friend of Sabree Barnes, I gotta give her a shout out. She held me down, and I held her down. Like that's my sister for real. Like she held me down in every aspect, from everything you could think of. She held me down, and I held her down as well. And also Kayla held me down. Like held me down. Me and Kayla was like this.
Real life.
Like real life. Like she at my house. We in the library together. We everywhere. Like where she went, I'm there. Because we had to make it happen. Like we just had to. She wasn't letting me fall, and I wasn't letting her fall. I'm like, we texting each other constantly, like, you did this, you did this, you did this, you did this. I'm just making sure, like, I met some ride or dies. I'm not gonna lie, I really did. Also, I had diversity too as well. I had a lot of friends in different aspects that could help me in different areas. So yeah, mostly my classmates though. Like I met a lot of good people in class before the like in the dorm rooms freshman year. That's why I made like my friends. Like the ones I kept, throughout the whole thing. But class and then getting involved in organizations like psych club. Once I got in the psych club, that was a wrap. I was friends with everybody and we was all cool and we was all hanging out. Like that's what it was. And then the last 2 years of like my college years or whatever, we had classes together all the time. So I was just like, that was my family. That's all we knew.
Yeah. No, for real. I would say the same thing y'all said. Like at an HBCU, you're going to get that no matter what, unless you're just the type of person who's like, I just rather be by myself. And if that's you, then you may not get like many people. But no matter what, I think what I loved about the environment when I first came, because I came from a predominantly white high school. So, and I all through schooling it was predominantly white. Of course, African Americans were the minority, and then Hispanics were the minority as well. So I didn't really get too much diversity. And then when I went to college, I just never been around that many of my people like ever. So I just love the atmosphere. Freshman year, like unloading the truck to get my stuff into the freshman dorms. It was parents coming up to my parents like, hey, your baby gonna be in this building, my baby gonna be in this building, and this is my baby so and so. And I was just like, okay. Hey. And so it was like everyone wanted that. Everyone wanted their children to succeed. The parents wanted their children to succeed. We wanted each other to succeed. And so like just from that moment on, that was just the nature of my environment. Like everywhere I go, every class I went into, I don't care if we were at hump day, I bump somebody and we just start talking, like it was just that atmosphere. And so you do create a lot of friends who become family, strong support system. And like Amani said, that's needed. Like you need that support system because you are going to be up at 3:00 in the morning, walk into your kitchen and be like, dang, I'm hungry. But with your support system, you got somebody you could call, or you gonna have one of them nights where you like, I'm tripping, I need somebody to talk to. With that support system, you have somebody to call. So I agree. It's nothing like that environment. It's nothing like that family system that will help you through those challenging times. Okay. So talking about challenging times, what was your most challenging time at your HBCU during undergrad or grad school? I know it's a lot to list, huh?
It's been a journey.
Yeah.
Definitely a journey. I think my most challenging time might have been like the transition from junior to senior, maybe senior year. Yeah, that was like, because really it was the time when I had to give up nursing to go into psychology. Crazy.
Yeah.
So after I decided I wasn't gonna be a nurse, transitioning to psychology was just like, okay. It was crazy. It was just like a lot. And I was like, okay, so I'm used to being in class with all the nursing students. Now I gotta go be in class with all the psychology students. Let's see if they're gonna like me. How the nursing students like me, like I had to make all new friends, all new connections. But it was psychology, transitioning to psychology and going to classes, it was easier to talk to them because nursing is very competitive. In psychology, the people are more like free spirited. We have a lot of discussions or whatever. Like most of our classes were really discussion based. So like we just be talking. You know, it was easier. So
Yeah.
it was challenging as far as like changing classes and stuff, but as far as like making friends and stuff, that wasn't that bad. That
Cool,
probably was
cool,
my most
cool.
challenging time. Yeah.
What about you, Imani?
Whew. Mm, I've had some challenging moments. But I'm gonna speak on my freshman year because I think a lot of just people in general, it's hard that transition from high school to college. It's
Mm-hmm.
big, and
Yeah.
I think for me it was my classes I was in. I was an exercise science major, so we took a lot of the core science classes first. Before you take those health sciences in your field. And so one of my first big classes was biology, and it tore my butt up because I
Uh,
wasn't prepared for it. And I mean, the pace was just ridiculous. I'm like, what? Like, who learns like this? This is me, like a freshman, like 18, like. Who learns like from this? Like you come from high school, you take your little bio class. It's easy, like you're not really doing too much. But college, they really want you to know that stuff, and it comes back. So then you have to know it.
yeah.
And
You definitely
I
have
had a
to.
rough start with that class. Had failed the first test, barely passed the second, and I call home. Mind you, I was around the corner, but I was living on campus, and I call my
Uh,
mom like I'm like 5 hours away. Like I can't do this. Like I don't think I want to be in the science field anymore. Like it's too much. And she
dang.
encouraged me or whatever. And I was able to bring it around because I went to their office hours. So anybody watching, if you're having trouble in the class, don't be afraid to go to their office hours. The teachers want you to go there. They want you
Yeah.
there. If
They
you go,
do.
it shows that you're trying, and they're gonna help you. They're gonna make sure you pass. I
They are.
guarantee. So I went there, and I was able to bring that. It was a low C, but I was able to bring it up to a B by the end of the semester. So I think that right there was just like a mind changing experience.
Yeah.
Humbled myself because I'm thinking like, oh, college freshman year, oh, it's a regular core class, it's easy, but it really had me. I had to study, I had to work hard, just like the next person. And I think that helped me in grad school when I hit like a bump in the road with anatomy. Anatomy in undergrad for me was easier, but anatomy at Howard University, it was cadavers. It was about 50 of them, and they each looked different. You had to know where that same muscle was on all 50 cadavers, and
Uh,
it was rough. I mean, started off rough again. Had some D's and some low C's, and I had to go to them office hours and them little tutor sessions, and I was able to bring it back around and get a B. But that just shows like just because it's the HBCU doesn't mean it's going to be easier. You're still going to have to work. But the
right.
support system's there. Them professors really want you to succeed. So take advantage.
Yeah. No, most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, they basically summed it up. You gonna have struggles, like most definitely transitioning from high school to college. It's like everyone would tell me too, this is different. I'm not going to be here to hold your hand. Like my parents would tell me that I'm not going to be here to hold your hand. I'm not going to be here to make sure you get to class. Even my professors, like the first day, that they were like, look, nobody's going to wake you up. You come, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
But you will suffer the consequences for not going. So just be prepared. So it's definitely going to be struggles day after day after day. But I think you'll really begin to grow and see, find your way through and find your groove. And I think that's the most important, just finding your groove, like what works for me. Okay, let's do this. And then you may be in a situation where you have to switch up again and, find something new that works for you. Do that. Be open and just learn, like go for it. But definitely those office hours, go to them. Like, do not play about the office hours. The office hours to me like tremendously. Like your girl was felon, and just in the office, and the professor just knew my heart, knew my goals, and knew that I was serious about school, and was like, "Come on, we gonna work through this." So
Right.
those office hours. Okay,
Definitely.
we gotta talk about this one though. Did you find love or heartbreak at your HBCU? Or maybe it was a little bit of in between. Maybe it was I don't know what it was, but yeah.
I'm
I'm
just
not
saying.
being funny with this question. I'm serious.
Woo,
I'm gonna
child.
just say things happening. That's all I got to say about that. Just things happen.
Period. That's it. Things
I-
A kid. That's all I have
Amani,
to say.
Mine was definitely different. So I was actually in a relationship in high school, and so we stayed together in college. By the way, we are still together.
okay,
Yes.
good.
Yes.
My eyes got big like, ooh.
But it was definitely a roller coaster ride. I would say until like probably middle of my junior year when I was online. I think that's when I realized like, oh, he's the one, like he's holding me down. But before that, it was different because you're going into a new environment, eye candy, your flesh is going crazy, like your hormones all over the place, right? And the trust, because then you're like, well, where are you at? And you're like, oh, I'm with my girlfriends or whatever. But then of course you're gonna run into people and you start meeting people, start talking and stuff. But it was definitely a roller coaster ride. But I would definitely say I think what helped us was that we always had a friendship. So
That's
no
good.
matter what was going on, never cheated on each other. I mean, it was definitely close moments on both ends, but never actually went forth and cheated. But I definitely can say it can be hard, but but don't feel like you have to stay in a relationship. We made sure that if we did stay in a relationship, that we would still live our life. Don't feel like you got to be married in college. No, like you want to go to a party with your friends, then go to a party. Like, and if he's not happy with it, you need to leave him alone. Like that shows he's insecure and doesn't trust you. So, and
Yes.
I had to let him know, like, look, like I'm going to live my life in college. Like I have dreams, I still have aspirations, and I had things in mind, even in grad school and stuff.
Mhm.
Like, look, I'm going to continue school. Like this is what I want to do. I'm going to be
Yeah.
involved. I'm going to do these different extracurricular activities because at the end of the day, I'm not going to get this back. So,
Yeah.
definitely still live your life. I mean, it is possible to be in a relationship in college, but just make sure y'all communicating all on the same page and y'all reaching towards the same goals individually too. Like, don't think, oh, we got to do this together all the time. No, separate, have fun, and then meet up again. But live your life. Live your life.
My
Don't live it for somebody else.
great advice. I did.
Definitely, I can agree.
Yeah, that's important to remember, to live your life, respect each other,
Yes.
but live your life as well and allow your spouse to live their life as well. I did find love at my HBCU. I got married. Um, he is so petty. Isaiah and Kayla will be celebrating 4 years of marriage on October 31st. Yes, I did find love at my HBCU. But if I could give anyone advice, I wouldn't say, don't be in a relationship. Do what works best for you. But I will say, definitely having those conversations about boundaries, is very, very, very important. And remembering that although we're together, whether, boyfriend and girlfriend or marriage, we're together. However, we still have things that we need to work on separately, like within ourselves and for ourselves, so that this relationship can continue to stay together. So, yeah, I would, yeah, for real, just do you but be honest with yourself as well. Like, if a relationship isn't for you, don't lead your spouse just dragging them along. No, like, just be honest with yourself while you in college. Like, that's the best advice that I could give you. But it's definitely gonna be temptation there. Like Amani said, if you in a relationship and you in a relationship from high school and you coming to college, say HBCU.
It was crazy. We had to take a break at one point. We did. Like, get our minds right. Like, figure out what you want to do and come back, because it's getting ridiculous.
I ain't gonna be here in front. Like, just imagine being in a field of black men who want to do something with their hand.
No, for real.
Like, you just gonna be like, whoa. I didn't even like, it's a lot of them.
And freshmen, don't let no junior or senior, talk in your ear, because they will.
They will.
It sounds great at first, not gonna lie. But then you gotta sit back like, am I doing this for the wrong reasons,
Exactly.
So, like Taylor said, you gotta be true to yourself and know yourself,
Yeah, because they gonna come. Like, for real. Like, left and right. Right and left.
They do.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's overwhelming sometimes. You just be like, okay. Like you want to be invisible sometimes. Like, okay, like, okay,
right. Like, dang, dude, I be seeing you everywhere. Then you follow me on Instagram, Facebook. How did you find me?
How do you know my name? Like, for real, how do you know my name?
But hey, you gotta know yourself. If you don't take the time to learn yourself that freshman year, I'm telling you, if not, you gonna struggle a little bit. But there's always hope.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've been chatting. I have to ask this question. This could be our last question. Just thinking about HBCUs and how extraordinary they are. I believe like going an HBCU experience is unique within itself. It's very different from a PWI experience. So I've gone to both, so I could say that with all certainty that it is very unique from a PWI experience. And I just want you all to talk about HBCU Black excellence. Like, how did it feel to just be around that many people who look like you, just striving to do better and wanting more for their lives? What was that like for you, like that experience?
I would say, okay, so if I come from like a super small town, like everybody has the same mindset pretty much. And so when I went to college, I met people who had a different mindset, and I learned from them. Like, I always tell people, like, especially my little cousins, my family, I always be like, y'all need to leave and go to college. Like, I didn't go far, but I went. And when I went, I met so many different people with so many different mindsets, so many different values. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I always tell them, just talk to people you wouldn't think you would talk to them. You will learn something from everybody. And going to HBCU, I just learned so much from so many different people. Like, it kind of made me check myself like a lot. So I had to stop all my judgmental thoughts, because it's like, this person went through this, this person went through that, and look where they at. Like, they out here striving. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't let certain things define you. And I feel like when people go to HBCU, all that stuff that defined them back then, it goes out the window, because everybody is here trying to get to the top, and you got your people next to you trying to help you get to the top. It's like, I feel like it's competitive, but not really. It's more community. You get what I'm saying? Like, community.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's like a big community, and I felt all the love. Every time I'm at PV, I feel love. Just love.
Yeah.
That's all I do. Just love. People I don't even know would just like shout my name, or, is that you? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm just hey girl. I did hair, so
Yeah, she
Everybody,
famous. She really
everybody.
is.
Like I'll have to stop and talk to people all the time, and I'm just like, that's not me. Like that's not like I'm usually like I want to be by myself. I want to put my headphones in. I want to walk, just go about my business. So I gotta talk to people because they like, hey, that's you. I'm like, hey, how you doing? You know,
Yeah.
like, it's just love. That's all I felt. Love. That's all I felt, and I feel like everybody should go to that. Will get that experience in college. I feel like having that experience made me want to continue college and made me want to graduate. Like it was harder for me to be like, no, I don't want to finish. You get what I'm saying? Because it was people there
Yeah.
who also wanted to see me succeed. So it was like they kept me going, kept me motivated. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Amani.
That was a great answer, Taj. I mean, everything you kind of hit is what I was thinking too. You go there and you're with other people who are like minded, but we all come from different backgrounds. So it's just like amazing to hear people's, their stories, and how they overcame things. And like you said, I had to check myself, like, I had to stop. I didn't think I was judging people, but I would definitely be like, why she act like that? But then there's a reason why. She has a story, and if you
Right.
just
Yeah.
take the time to listen to her story, you will understand her a little better. And I think going to an HBCU has helped me so much because it has opened me up to getting to know other people. I wouldn't say I was shy, but I think HBCU, I know when I need to turn that shyness off if I feel a little nervousness, in front of people that I don't know.
Yeah.
Like at HBCU, it helped me with that, where I can go into a setting and just be myself. And, like even tonight, like I didn't know you two, but we kind of just kicked it off because
Yeah.
we have something in common. We went to an HBCU and we know how that family environment feels. And so, like, when I went to grad school, I think it helped me too because I was around, Howard students, and they're different. They're like sophisticated HBCU
Yeah.
and stuff. And I'm like,
Definitely.
little girl from DSU, like it's different. But I mean, I was able to just kind of go into the class, get to know people very quickly. Wasn't shy or like didn't feel awkward. And I think it helped me just even with job interviews. You just go in there confident, like. You tell them, they ask you
Yes.
what school you went to. You tell them, yes, I went to this school. You be confident and you educate them. If they're like, oh, I've never heard of this school or where is it at? You educate them because you just never
Yeah.
know. Like that can help
Definitely.
somebody. Exactly. And yeah, I just love being around Black excellence. I used to always look forward to not always the first day of class per se, but like the professors giving like a background on themselves because I love
Yeah.
to hear, I went to this university, I have this degree, I'm working towards this, I've done this for umpteenth years. I love to hear that. And it just gave me the motivation, like, dang, I can't wait to be like that one day. I went to this school, I've been in the field for this many years, I can do X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
I just can't wait to be like that. I don't know. The professors just inspired me to just keep going. Like, don't stop because this could be you one day. And we need people like you to fill our shoes. And so it's just Black excellence all around. I just love it. I mean, it's just nothing like a HBCU.
Nothing like it.
Nothing. Nothing like it.
It instills like this pride in you. Like nobody can tell me nothing about Prairie View. I'll be like, huh? Anytime they
Right.
try to slander PV, I'll be like, wait a minute. I'll go down the list. Well, they got the top this, they got the top that, they got the top this, they got the top
Exactly.
that. And they be like, and I'll be like, yeah, so don't talk about my HBCU, period. It's like,
That's
don't do
it.
it.
That's it. I I find myself leading with that. Like I had an interview because right now I'm interning for a county in California and I had to interview for my internship. And the lady was going through my resume and was like, "Oh, you have your BS in psychology from where?" I was like, Prairie View A&M University. And she was like, "Where is that?" I said, "Oh, it's in Prairie View, Texas. It's an HBCU." Like I lead with that. And she's like, "An HBCU?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a historically Black college or university." And she was like, "Oh, okay." Because like it is a sense of pride that you have about, your school, your family, honestly. And so I always lead with that because I know going through college, I was just so inspired. Like Amani was saying, all my professors, most of my professors graduated from an HBCU, got their doctorate degree from an HBCU, or probably went to a PWI, but they were all doing groundbreaking work in their communities. Like they were doing something, like something to move their community forward. You know, they had minorities in mind. And so I'm just like, this is amazing. I've never been in this atmosphere. So I definitely lead with that. And I'm like, look, it's like one of the best decisions I've ever made, you know, to go to this HBCU. And I'm excited to share it with employers. Like, yeah, you know, I learned great skills there. I had a great education, and I'm just thankful that I had the opportunity to see all this Black excellence. And then it is encouraging, like, girl, keep going. Like, my professors would be like, go get the degree. Don't stop at that degree. Go get the next degree.
Yes, definitely.
Don't stop at that one. Go get another one. Up in this piece, like, but they encourage that. They want that. They want to. I had one professor. He said, I want to call more Black people doctor. And he was like, that's my goal. I just want to hear, I want to see doctor in front of their names. And he was like, I don't even care what it's in. Like, I just want to see doctor in front of their names. He was like, because I grew up in a time where there wasn't many doctors, you know, there wasn't many Black doctors. And he's like, now I'm coming into a time, I'm able to see a time where there's more doctors. And he was like, so I'm gonna say it every time, I want to see more Black doctors. And he was like, that's my driving point. And so I'm like, okay. And that just encouraged me within itself. Like, yeah, let's do it. Why not? You know, like, what do we have to lose? Let's just keep going. And I mean, it's no experience like an HBCU experience at all. None. Like, none. You just, none.
Nothing compared.
Nothing. Period. Well, ladies, thank you so much. This was so fun. We got to do this again because this was fun. I didn't even ask half the questions that I had because, as you see, once we get to talking about it, we can't stop. Are going to stop. I thank you ladies so much. These two ladies are amazing. Do you all want to leave your information if people want to follow you, if they have questions? Amani went to
DSU, Delaware State University in Howard.
So if you have any questions, how do you all want them to reach you? I'll leave that up to y'all.
You can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is get, so GET _ MON, and then 3 I's. You can find me on there. You can find me on Facebook, Amani Knight. Yeah, I'm open. You can send me any questions you have, and I'll answer them.
Yes, and Taj.
You can follow me on Instagram. My name is Lil Sexy Taj with 3 A's in the. It's LILSEXYTAAJ. Also, you can follow me on Facebook. My name is Taj Marquise Williams on there. Yeah, Twitter, whatever. I'm open. I'm always down for talking to people. That's what I do.
Right. And if you have any questions, any young people out there watching, and if you have any questions for them, all right, if you have any questions in general about their experience, hit them up, follow them, go ahead and you could comment on this video. And if they don't get it, I will definitely reach out to them so they can respond to you all. Thank you, ladies, so much. We are going to make sure we put your Instagram handles in the description box as well, and your social media handles in the description box so people can follow you. And thank you. I really enjoyed this.
Thank you for having me as well.
No problem. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining Elevating the Mind. We'll see you guys later. Bye.